Timothy McGee effectively confirms his exit plan from NCIS. Amid a very busy episode, Timothy McGee also effectively reveals his exit plan from MCRT in NCIS Season 23. CBS' longest-running scripted show puts Alden Parker at the center of its storytelling for its supersized opener in the 2025 to 2026 TV cycle. Tackling the fallout from the murder of his father in the NCIS Season 22 finale, MCRT's current leader takes matters into his own hands when it comes to delivering justice for his dad. The whole case becomes far bigger than what it was when it started. It also became a family affair, with Parker's sister, Vice Admiral Harriet Parker, getting involved. Director Leon Vance hasn't been the usual supportive boss that he is during this time, a departure from his usual leadership ways. Ultimately, in the end, Parker and MCRT are able to take down Carla Marino and end the Nexus cartel, a storyline that started last cycle. Granted that the two-part NCIS Season 23 premiere juggles a lot of narrative threads and personal storylines aside from the case itself, Prodigal Son Part 2 still manages to slip in a revelation that more or less confirms Timothy McGee's plans to eventually leave the agency. As Parker fakes his death to get away from Vance, MCRT, and the higher-ups so he can continue his investigation of Marino in NCIS Season 23, Episode 2, McGee meets him up in an abandoned shack on the heels of the ship's explosion. Having been in this situation a few times before with Leroy Jethro Gibbs, Sean Murray's character comes in prepared with all the food and gadgets that they might need during this time. Unlike Gibbs, Parker is more receptive to the help that he is being offered, and his most veteran team member doesn't let him down. Since they are in a rather remote area, McGee quickly sets up a way to access the internet and communicate with the rest of MCRT in Navy Yard. Proudly showing off his creation, Elf Lord does a rundown: solar power, satellite internet, and Moose-enhanced Wi-Fi. Subsequently, when Casey Hines gets in touch with them, she can't help but be impressed with McGee's creation, which is now called MooseNet. Apparently, its patent is currently pending, which means that it is something that he truly believes in. Its creation also effectively confirms that McGee has been taking a side project while working in MCRT. Admittedly, there's nothing wrong with having a personal agenda outside of work. Gibbs was famously into building boats by hand in his garage. Earlier in NCIS run, McGee was also a distinguished author known as Tom E. Gemcity. He still writes on the side, but taking on a full-blown invention endeavor at this point in his life, when he also has young kids, must not just be another way for him to pass time. Instead, there needs to be a true end goal for this project, and it might very well be a part of McGee's post-MCRT plan. It's no secret that NCIS has stagnated McGee's personal arc in the last several years. When Gibbs retired after Mark Harmon left the show, it felt like he was the perfect person to step into the vacated shoes of his longtime boss and mentor. That said, he refused the gig, saying that he didn't want to do a lot of paperwork. If MooseNet becomes patented and successful, McGee will have a steady source of income from the project. Perhaps the venture may have something to do with his newfound connection with Fletcher Voss, CEO of Bandium. Beyond that, managing it will also be a full-time job, considering that he also created the device. There's no way that he could operate the venture while also serving as a detective for the government. NCIS Season 22 actually attempted to give McGee a substantial personal arc by revealing that he was vying to be the assistant director of the agency. Sadly, he didn't get the post, as it was strategically awarded to Gabriel LaRoche, who was apparently a plant to uncover a conspiracy theory. By the end of the year, LaRoche's true mission was exposed, resulting in him stepping down. Somehow, McGee still hasn't gotten any word about possibly taking over. The whole narrative only highlighted the issue of what's left for McGee in NCIS. If he becomes the assistant director, he would have to give up being on the field with Parker and the rest of MCRT. For now, CBS needs to come up with a brand new position for the character that would allow him to move both up the organization ladder while maintaining his ties to his current team. If not, there might not be any way to keep him without watering down the character's over two-decade arc on the small screen.